Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with a review video, a quick chat about what has happened in Spain over the last week or so from a news point of view. Some interesting stories making the news this week in Spain, none more so than a terrible incident that took place in Murcia, the region of Murcia, last Sunday. There was a fire at a nightclub in Murcia. 13 people unfortunately lost their lives. 24 more people are injured in that fire, and as I said, a tragedy in Murcia. But as this story developed, not only did we find out about the fire, the victims and all of that stuff last Sunday, Monday, but we also found out that the nightclub in question didn't have an active license. It should not have been open. And of course the town hall, the Murcia town hall, was left scrambling, trying to find out what is going on down there. And apparently as a result of this, it's come to light that there are more businesses in the Murcia area that are operating without a license. The town hall has had to come clean, say that yes, this is the case, and they're still trying to work out how they could get this so wrong that a nightclub opens without a license, catches on fire, and 13 people die. Now, I'm not sure what exactly is going to happen here. I don't know if somebody's going to accept responsibility. I don't know what's going to happen when it comes to compensating the families of people who were lost in this fire. I'm not sure if somebody's going to put their hands up and accept responsibility, as I said, but it is an issue that people don't accept responsibility. But this is a tragedy that should not have happened and wouldn't have happened if the licenses had been in order and people had done fire safety checks before that place opened, but it wasn't the case. And while I'm on this topic, I will say that for a lot of businesses, it's not easy to get approval from local councils. So what happens is they put in the paperwork. It takes months and months and months, sometimes years, to get approval from local councils because they're very slow in the way that they operate, local councils, unfortunately. Very bureaucratic, a lot of red tape, and businesses open and take the risk, and here the risk backfired. And one of the main stories in the paper today is that the businessman, apparently he's a prominent businessman down there in Murcia, the owner of this nightclub, has apparently disappeared. People are looking for him. Also to ask questions about what exactly is the situation with that nightclub, why was it opened, and why was it a potential fire hazard. Those are some of the questions, but as I said, this guy has done a runner. Now, the second piece of news that is still dominating headlines, unfortunately, is whether or not we are going to have a government anytime soon. There were elections back on the 23rd of July, and we're still without a government. The Partido Popular, the most voted for party in those elections, failed to get the support they needed to get across the line, so they couldn't form a government, so he's automatically gone into the opposition, and now Mr. Sanchez, Pedro Sanchez, the current acting Prime Minister, is going to give it a crack. And according to what the political parties on the left side of politics here in Spain are saying, the PSOE and Sumar, is that they want to get this done and dusted by the end of October. But as we know, they have to get one important person on board, and that is Carles Puigdemont, Spain's #1 fugitive, who currently lives in Waterloo in Belgium, and he's on the run from Spanish justice. But on the table, as we also know, is an amnesty package for those separatist politicians that back in 2017, I think it was, held an illegal referendum, and the SH1T really hit the fan back then. Since then, things have calmed down in Catalonia, I believe. I can't really speak for what happens in Catalonia because I don't live there, but from all reports, it's a lot quieter there now, a lot more peaceful than it was back in 2017, 2018, when all of this stuff was going on and politicians were sent to jail. Now, I didn't agree with politicians being sent to jail. I don't think that should happen in a democracy. There has to be another way. You have to be able to talk about these things, and the idea with this amnesty is to get these politicians back in Spain who are currently living abroad. They can't live here because there are arrest warrants for them. So the idea is to get them back, but they also want another referendum, and that's a big issue too. But this time, if it does take place, it won't be an illegal referendum. It will be a referendum with the support of the Spanish central government. But at the moment, they are saying that this is not going to happen. So those negotiations between those separatist parties seem to be breaking down, or not as smooth as Mr. Sanchez and company would like, I don't think. And a story in the newspaper El Mundo says that violent acts in Catalonia are apparently on the rise, according to the police in Catalonia, the Mossos d'Esquadra. So contradicting what Mr. Sanchez said yesterday when he said that things are more normal in Catalonia than they were before. But according to this newspaper here and the Mossos d'Esquadra, that is not the case. So if you are in Catalonia, if you're in Barcelona or one of the other towns or cities in Catalonia, let us know what the situation is like there, whether things are calm or whether or not violent acts, violent political acts are on the rise, as it says here in the newspaper. Let us know in the comment section. And the final thing I want to talk about today, not related to the news, but it was something that happened to me personally the other day. I was out riding my bicycle. I was going up and down one of the new bike lanes that we have in the town that I live in, and there was a gentleman around 55, 60 years of age walking in that bike lane. I went past him fairly quickly, gave him a bit of a fright, and I also said to him as I went past, please don't walk in the bike lane. There's plenty of space for people to walk. Don't walk in the bike lane because you could be hit by a bike, and we wouldn't want that, would we? And I kept on my journey, and on the way back, because I went up and then I came back, I ran into the same gentleman and he became very abusive. He told me that if I spoke to him again like that, he would break my face, romperme la cara were the words that he used. And also, when he found out that I wasn't from Spain because of my accent when I speak Spanish, he told me to go back to my country of origin. We don't want people like you in this country. So that was my first encounter with xenophobia here in Spain, racism if you like, and things started to get a little bit nasty between myself and this gentleman when I didn't back down. I went back and asked him why he said that. I said those aren't the correct words to use. You shouldn't threaten somebody with violence and also tell them to go back to where they come from because you're not a very nice person. And he kept on going and going and going, and the only thing that I said to him is, why don't you walk somewhere else and not in the bike lane? So that's what we're dealing with at the moment. People are a little bit tense at the moment, I feel. Hopefully it was a one-off, it won't happen again. And I must say that in the 25 years or so that I have been living in Spain, it's the first time that something like this has happened to me. But as I said, I don't think this person was a very nice person. I wasn't overly aggressive with him, but he was certainly aggressive back at me. So didn't really like it, but what can you do? People are people. On that note, I'm going to wrap this video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Debate the video out as you normally do. If you have an opinion on anything that I have spoken about in today's video, the comment section is the place for you. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego.